Friends, how are you doing? Just want to have a short little talk about Sofi. I almost want to use this as like just, a time to like document what is going on right now with Sofi, because I think that this fundamentally is a transition in the market to either just kind of stay where it's at with sell-off or go into parabolical like eighth gear of what is about to happen in the market. So I want to just talk about, I'm probably going to talk about Sofi every day because I'm very interested what is going on. I've always been obsessed with Sofi, but really right now, I mean, these are like fundamental movements right now that we are seeing in the company, in the stock, and what's going on with the economy, everything. So obviously this week in the market has been a little difficult. We've seen sell-off, which, I mean, even the fact that we're calling this sell-off is kind of a joke. I mean, we're still at like insane gains at this point. We're still insanely high. So we're just seeing some cool down. We're just seeing things not continue to go crazy high here. I mean, it's fine. It's good. We need days like this so we can push into the market, buy more. Sofi right now is still holding strong at this 22 and some change mark here, 23 on a good day. This is still fantastic, and I still believe that Sofi is undervalued for what's coming here. Of course, Q3, that will be coming out here later this year. This is a situation more than likely could get really crazy here. And why I say that is because if you don't know, I've talked about this, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, even though I'm going to, but if we get these rate cuts here, okay, in September, when the Feds meet back up, okay, and obviously we should find out a little more this week what's going on. Right now, what we're hearing, the Feds are very, they're split down the middle. Obviously, the head, Jerome Powell, does not want to do rate cuts. He wants to wait. But there are Fed members now coming out and saying, hey, we actually want to do rate cuts, and we think it'd be good for the economy. House market, not good. Home Depot came out this week. Then the CEO of Home Depot came out and said, like, hey, actually, we're going to have to raise some things in the store because of tariffs. John Deere came out and said, actually, we're going to be firing quite a bit here, quite a bit of people, just because we're having some trouble. Now, the media's picked that up and it's kind of bled into the market a little bit. Obviously, this is why we're seeing some, pushback in the market here this week. And two, the market is kind of just waiting right now. What's happening with Ukraine? What's happening with Russia? Is this going to end? Is this going to escalate? What's going on here? So there's a lot of that going on. But, if all of this stuff could just if we walk into this Goldilocks story of what could happen here going into September, this could be parabolical gains. This could be a historical fundamental moment for the United States stock market, okay, for what could be about to happen here. If we get rate cuts, we get the war wrapped up, we get third quarterlies, everything kind of just bleeding right into the next one. By the end of this year, Sofi undoubtedly could leapfrog into some insane numbers here. This could easily push into $30, $35, $40, $45. Undoubtedly. I mean, imagine if Sofi comes out with another quarterly here that is, obviously good. We know that. I fully expect that, but it shatters expectation again, and maybe we get, this is the one that's in $900 million range. Maybe they come out with a $950 million quarterly here, somewhere around there. Maybe they just leapfrog into $1 billion. Don't know about that, but imagine. So there's a lot of things that could happen. It's a gamble at this point. The bad is that none of this happens, and Sofi just kind of remains where it's at. Still a great stock, still a great company, and it'll continue to rise up at a slower rate, more than likely. But let's say all this good stuff happens. Okay, well, we're about to see some crazy, crazy things happen with the company, with the stock, no doubt about it. So, I think there's a lot of great opportunities in this market right now. I mean, bank stocks in general, if you're doing swing tradings I know buddies who are just like, they're with what's been going on here in the market for the last 3 days. They're buying up bank stocks because they're going to swing trade them. They think that there's more than likely going to be rate cuts here in September, and then when those bank stocks fly up, they're gonna sell them. Obviously, either you're buying you're buying big parts of shares, you're buying shares, or bundles of shares, or you're, betting, call options, put options, however you want to play it here. Obviously, call options. So this is I think how a lot of people are looking at the market right now. Everyone from Wall Street to us to everyone is looking at what is the next move in the market. And undoubtedly, we could be going into a situation of where, this is fundamentally going to be a moment in our market. I think I said this on Dealing with Money, the channel 1, but I think this is a very great time for people to really look into ETFs, mutual funds, look at things like that. We are in this moment right now. If a lot of the stuff starts to unfold and we go into 2026 and we just see the market continue to push into, run here, it's hard to say at this point because the market is we are in a bull market right now. No doubt about it. We are running. I mean, the bull is running here. If the market does what a lot of these top investors are saying, like Tom Lee, many more, saying that they believe that the S&P 500 is going into a 7,000 point range here by the end of the year, which if this Goldilocks conversation that I've been talking about here happens, that is very possible. It's just a lot of good news. Bond market, no one's going to be buying bonds. They're going to put their money in the market because they're going to be like, okay, here we go. And people are going to be wanting to get into a lot more of these tech stocks, bank stocks, Sofi before the third quarterlies come out here with a lot of these companies. So this could really drive up the market undoubtedly. In ETFs, mutual funds, they could really, really just go crazy here. I mean, just crazy gains. It's a very interesting moment in the market. It really is. It's obviously been a tremendous year so far for the market. I mean, this has been a insane V-shaped recovery that we've had here coming out of this tariff news, deep sea tariff, all that stuff happening, kind of boom, boom. And now, the market is really looking to let loose more and just run if these next steps can actually happen. I am very curious to see if Jerome Powell says we're not doing a rate cut, what that would look like for Jerome Powell. I think at this point, Trump is looking for any possible way to get rid of Jerome. Obviously, his time is up next year, but I can't imagine they're at least not going to do one, especially with job reports, housing market, tariff stuff starting to show here from what we can tell. I would imagine that they're at least going to say, hey, we'll do one. Now, obviously, a lot of people are saying and betting that they're going to do at least 3 by the end of the year. That's pretty nuts. So, yeah, friends, we're all together in this. Everyone's looking at the same thing. No one's, I don't think anyone's like, I'm so confused about what's going on in the market. I don't think anyone's confused. I think everyone's just trying to figure out where can this market possibly go after this, because we've had such a historical run up to this point. Really, what do we think is going to happen here? I mean, I haven't talked about SoundHound here in a minute, but, even SoundHound is just doing fairly well. I mean, you want to talk about a stock that you can easily probably swing trade right now. I mean, just last week, the stock was almost at $17 again. Now this week, we've had this beautiful pushback, this beautiful sell-off, but don't kid yourself, because we know the market's gonna come back around here, and so stocks like SoundHound are gonna push right back up into this kind of range of where it was here. This is really just a pulling off on the side of the road here before we get back on the road here and start to find these new levels. I fully believe that. So just an amazing time to be an investor. It's just crazy. Friends, like I said, I want to keep it short and sweet. I really do appreciate everyone being here. I really mean that. I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you're at, and enjoy the market, and best of luck to you. Really do mean that. Bye, everyone.